In this video, I'm going to have a look at how we would consider using technical indicators whether the recent moves in the US dollar are overdone and what concerns we should have about correction. Now, to do this, I'm going to use a chart for the dollar index. Currently the chart we've got is US dollar yen. It's a daily chart and we can see it's moved up quite strongly and showing some resistance at the top. But I'm going to answer the question generically by looking at the dollar index. So here we have the dollar index. It's a daily chart and it goes out to April of last year. So the first thing I want to do is I want to have a look at this over a very long time frame. I'm going to change it to a monthly chart. And we can see there on this particular chart, we can see how it's run down from the highs in 2001. It's made a bottom and then it's turned around. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to put a Fibonacci retracement from the high at the top of that run, and I'm going to put it down to the low at the bottom. And you'll see the level that we're turning currently, and I will draw a horizontal line on here just so we can see where that is. It's right now testing the 0.5 Fibonacci line. Now typically what we see is that the markets they move in phases and like to turn on Fibonacci lines. So we can see that there was some hesitation around the 0.38 line. It came down, tested it, rejected it, came down, tested it, and rejected, and this time it has run straight through. So we normally expect to see it may hesitate here around this 0.5 line, especially as we see on the left of the chart there's some structure here, so that there's some historical pricing here that is of relevance. But the more common Fibonacci lines are typically 0.618 and 0.786, and very often when we see something go right the way through a 786, it is a turnaround. Now let's see what this actually means historically for the dollar index. I'm going to crunch this chart up and actually to have a look and see what happened earlier. And I'm going to have to really crunch this chart up because we can see that the dollar index has come from a very high level quite some time ago. Now what I'm going to do with that one is I'm now going to put a Fibonacci line on this last big move, and so we can see what it turned around on. So go from the high on the left hand side down to the low, and we can see, and I will put in the line where this thing turned last time, and there it is 0.50. But you'll see what happens is it goes up, tests it and gets a little bit nervous, pulls back from it, goes up, tests it and gets a little bit nervous, pulls back, it goes up and tests it, and then finally rejects it and runs. That on that move it was on the 0.5 Fibonacci line. You'll actually see that on that move, the 0.38 line, it came straight through, didn't go anywhere near it, just basically just went stormed straight through it over here. So the indicators then for the how do we use that for where we are now? Where we are now is we're testing that 0.50 line. It's the first test. Do not be surprised to see this pullback, test, pullback, and then if it chooses not to reject that line, it's going to run through and then start testing the next level. Thanks.